Alright friends, I've just been told we're ready for some Mario Kart 7 modded with 9,999cc tracks with HOBT0R. Take it away.
Hello! Welcome, I am HOBT0R. We're going to be playing Mario Kart 7, CTGP-7 specifically, a mod that allows us to select a custom CC level. So we're going to go all the way up to the maximum, which is 9,999. With me today is Bo. Bo is the person who submitted this game to Speedromizer. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Bo. I'm pretty much the person who pioneered most of the strategies that you're going to see in this run. It started out as a lot of a joke category, but I found it really fun, so I started taking it a little too seriously, and we found a ton of cool shortcuts that we'll be showing off today.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is just double check, make sure I have the settings correct. So we want to make sure that improve, brake drift, and automatic delay drift are disabled, and they are. Then we're just going to go into our selection screen. Don't ignore that I select 150cc where the mod overrides it. We want to make sure CPU is set to default. CPU racers is 7. Course order is vertical. Race amount is 32. Items, we need to make sure 2 things are disabled. Fake item box and Mega Mushroom. And with that, we are just about ready. I will count us down. Oh, is this the right one, actually? No, this is not. Hold on. I am on the wrong cup. There we go. We start with the mushroom cup. Alright, there we go. And 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, so this happens frequently, where the game locks up right here. Only right here. I can fix it. 1 second, I have to restart the game.
Yeah, unfortunately on the emulator it's been a bit finicky.
Yeah, I did get this working on original hardware, but streaming from a 3DS is complicated. So I'm just gonna skip doing that check. Technically I should make sure all the settings are correct, but for sake of keeping us on track, we'll go again in 3, 2, 1, go! Okay, there we go.
Wonderful.
That lockup happens pretty much every time, by the way. But after that, I haven't had a lockup. I do have some safety saves, so if worst case, we can skip ahead. Yeah, so not a lot going on in this first stage. So, Bo, do you want to maybe talk a little bit about the history of the run?
Yeah, so it started off mainly just as a joke category of a sort, because in the mod creator, Pablo MK7, cool guy, added CC selector, which we just saw, and it goes all the way up to 9999, which some speedrunners, me included, thought would be pretty darn funny to start speedrunning. And as you can see, it's pretty fast.
Yeah, I am tapping as lightly as I can on the accelerator. If I hit it too hard, I will just go right through all the level geometry. Like, collision detection can't keep up with the speed that we're going at.
Yeah, walls in this game are just a suggestion.
So generally, for the most part, the strategy is to try to avoid going out of bounds. There are a few spots where you do want to go out of bounds to kind of like either reset your position or because it is actually faster to do it.
Yeah. Especially with some of the checkpoint maps, there are certain skips that do involve just going out of bounds in order to skip a larger portion of the track. It's kind of a sacrifice you have to make at certain parts.
Yeah, so you'll see me go out of bounds a lot in this run, and most of the time it's going to be a mistake. But, I mean, that's pretty much just how this run goes.
Yeah, even if you've been playing it for months and months, you're going to still make mistakes, go out of bounds at least once per run. It's just not easy at all to control.
Are we seeing the AI just caught in a loop of being latitude over and over because they're just zooming into a mountain?
Yes.
Yeah, that happens on a lot of the tracks.
Most tracks they cannot finish. There are a few where they can.
There are a few that they're really good at finishing, too. SNES Rainbow Road is one.
Okay, so this is the first level where we have underwater physics, and like in most video games, underwater physics are weird.
And that's true here, too. One of the main things that we're going to see with underwater physics is just kind of random speed boosts, even if you're just tapping A, depending on the way you're angled, which I don't even know how to explain in a simple way. You can just get launched, and it makes things kind of difficult here when we're in 9999 with, we just want to have some control, and the water just doesn't want to agree with us a lot of the time. But so far, we're handling it pretty darn well.
Yeah, only one real mistake there, but on that last course, so pretty happy with that.
Yeah, not bad at all.
So this next one has the first, like, interesting out-of-bounds clip. Let's see if I can get it first try. I think that was good. Yep, got it.
Nice. So even though you technically did fall off the track, it skipped a pretty difficult S-turn, which, especially with the speed we're at, it can be difficult to take fast, so it's both more consistent and just, in general, faster to take this out of bounds, which we're going to see here again.
Ooh. Okay, that actually worked.
Awesome. And I believe that's already the first cup in the books.
Yes, yes. And I realized, Bo, I didn't have my Discord stream up. It's up now.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. Yeah, Luigi Raceway is pretty much just a break track. There are some difficult strats that you can go for. You can skip this whole tunnel part, which can save a fraction of a second if you do it well, but really in a 32 track run, you just want consistency, and especially just having a bit of a break on an easier track is just, it's just nice to take normally.
You know, that's actually my favorite track in the game. Just because you get a little bit of a break, and you can just kind of like follow the curves. You don't have to tap so precisely.
Yeah. Alright, moving on to Bowser Castle 1 here. One of my personal favorite tracks outside of 9999. It has an interesting glitch that can save us a semi-difficult turn here.
And I got it.
Perfect. It's a little tougher than it looks. It looks like you're just supposed to fly off there, but you do have to angle it correctly in order to correctly bypass the checkpoints. Which looks like we're nailing. Let's see if we can get 3 for 3.
Maybe, yep.
Love to
3
see
for
it.
3. Yeah, and that is a level that the AI can actually beat you in, especially if you don't get that skip. Yeah, now this is kind of a fun one because there are some interesting we're actually not necessarily going out of bounds so much as we're using the ability of the fact that we can just kind of fly to cross distances that normally you wouldn't be able to.
Yep, and you might notice we're missing some of the boost panels here, which is intentional because if you hit a boost panel, you go flying. If you skip around it, you can gain just about enough speed to overcome a lot of these gaps without taking any respawns.
Oop. Yeah, came at that curve just a little too wide.
Still on very good pace.
Oop. I think that will spawn. Oh, that spawned me in the right spot.
Love that.
I wasn't expecting that.
I really love that the final lap music is like it finally catches up to your pace. All sped up.
Okay, this one has a tricky skip. Let's see how many... If I get it once, I'm usually pretty happy.
Yeah, it can be difficult to line up here, but basically what we do is skip most of the interior of the mansion, and looks like we nailed it right here.
Yep, we got it. It was a little slow though, so I'm not sure if it actually saved time, but we got it.
Even if it doesn't save time, being able to line that up at least in a fair amount of time can really help with consistency.
Ooh, got it again. 2 for 2. Ooh. Ah, went out of bounds there, wasn't supposed to. That's fine.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen throughout the run, which is practically unavoidable given the circumstances we're in here.
Ah, didn't get the third time. That's fine. It skips a lot if you get it, so it is like worth going for. But if you miss it up, you're probably still saving a little bit of time, so it's worth going for.
Yep.
So this is the first track that doesn't have laps. It has like checkpoints instead. So we're just going through the course one time.
It's one big lap around the island, and a lot of the time that allows for a little more freedom to go fast because we're not taking as sharp turns. Although around here, it does start to get a little tough as we see. But
yeah, I've gone out of bounds like every single time there. Not intended, but anytime there's a curve, basically I'm going out of bounds. Ooh, that was actually really good. For me, at least.
Yeah, not bad at all.
This might be a gold split. Not quite. Not quite a gold split. I have actually had 2 gold splits already.
We love to see that. Alright, yeah. Mario's circuit here is a real interesting one, because when played optimally, there are 2 very major skips, which even though it's somewhat unlikely, it's worth going for them anyway, because they have good respawns either way. So we missed the first one the first time through. It looks like we got one of the better variants of the second one. If done perfectly, it can respawn you past the pipe. Oh, there we go. First skip went really well.
Yeah, second skip was okay.
Yeah, it's hard to even commentate this one because there's just so much going on, one after another.
No, I didn't quite get the second skip, the perfect version variant, but still
you can't
pretty good.
expect that one, but you still nailed that track.
Yeah, that's that went better than most of my practice, so happy with that. Yeah, there is like a lot to cover, and these tracks are short, so it is kind of hard to like try to explain what we're trying to do and do it, because it's over before we can get to it. But we'll do our best here. So this course has so many sharp turns that I kind of just take. This is not the fastest way to do it, but it is the strategy that I have found to be the most consistent. We can basically just force a respawn where we want it to respawn us and bypass the curve.
Yeah, if you're trying to play optimally without that respawn, that S-bend is a real pain. So I can't blame anyone who goes for the respawn strat here.
Yeah, and the piano does play music. Like if you hit the black keys. So you might hear a few notes. I'm not sure that angle is right. Oh, it was.
You got it.
Oop. Well, then, you know, that actually wasn't too bad.
Not terrible.
Respawn.
With Music Park, it's one of those tracks that you're just not going to get a perfect race of.
Yeah, no. No, I can't imagine what you have to do for, like, individual level strats. This one has some crazy skips that I don't really understand, but I go for anyway.
Yep, so for Rock Mountain, we try to drive it somewhat normally for the first half. But once we get past the gliders to the mountain upwards, all that goes out the window, which we're going to see coming up right here.
Oop. Too much, too much. Okay.
You just go zooming. Sometimes you respawn right before the finish line, as we saw there. If you do it perfectly, you can respawn past it and have the lap count before you go out of bounds, which is super good for lap 3. Also laps 1 and 2, but it's not as important. Yep, there you see the lap count.
Yep. Yep, that's where I wanted to respawn.
Because roughly the way this works is the checkpoint map is 2-dimensional. As long as you're still inbounds in that way, you still pass the finish line checkpoint, and the lap still counts.
Yeah, and I think the Mario Kart 7 community has spent a lot of time like putting together maps that show where all the checkpoints are and doing all of like the really detailed analytic work to figure out
some
where
really
exactly.
talented people. Some really talented people behind the scenes have put together some super good tools for us.
Yeah, it's really interesting, like, just, like, how much has gone into routing this game.
Yeah, I myself have spent like a concerning amount of time just in 9999 figuring out ideal routes for every track, which a lot of the hard work is showing off here.
Yeah, and this track in particular is, you actually play it pretty normally. There aren't really any big skips or anything. You're just really I'm trying to go out of bounds 0 times. If I go out of bounds 0 times, then I've done the strategy that I want to do. And this is the first time we did not come in first. Luigi beat us. Now that's pretty typical in my runs. I've had one run where I've come in first in every track. That's most of the time I come in second at least once.
Yeah, it's one of those things that just kind of happens. Alright, and Mario Circuit 2, super interesting because it's just a flat track, so, well, for the most part. But coming up here, you'd think, hey, maybe I can skip that loop, but the checkpoints don't quite allow it. However, with that glider ramp, we can save a lot, given the correct angle, which we missed this first lap, but lap 2 and 3, we can hopefully nail it.
Nope, didn't get it the second time.
Not quite.
I was closer the first time. Let's see if we can get it the third lap. Third lap's kind of like the most important one to get it on.
Yeah, because you're not dealing with a respawn if you can hit it. Oh, not quite.
Not quite. That's okay.
Still not a ton of time lost out of that. It's just a minor optimization that's really cool to get on camera, but not the end of the world.
This one's kind of fun. There are a few spots where it's very easy to go out of bounds, where the walls seem to just be paper thin. But I do kind of like the theme of it, like, oh, we're driving in a mall.
Yeah, what's not to love with that? Super clean lap 1 so far.
Yeah, that lap 1 went basically as well as I could have hoped. We'll see if that luck continues.
There are some goofy out-of-bounds optimizations you can take if you're feeling confident with it, but in terms of a full game run, it's generally not worth going for unless you're super practiced in it. So I can't blame anyone who just takes the normal route here.
Oop, there we go. That's where the paper thin walls come in. And the music gets so chaotic,
So
manic on this one for the third lap. Okay, there we go.
There we go. Very respectable time there too.
Yeah, and feel free to hop in with any reads that you want to do at any point. This next track here is kind of long. There aren't any real major skips in it.
Absolutely. I've definitely been enjoying myself seeing all the other racers just fly off the map while you take these turns carefully. To remind folks, we're raising money for QMUNITY here. And if you'd like to donate, don't forget that we have the links in chat with !donate. We have the panel below the stream, and it's an amazing cause. It's a local British Columbia outreach supporting lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersex, asexual, two-spirit. And it's a great cause. It's ensuring that no one in British Columbia is left behind. And we have some really awesome stuff coming up later today with Resident Evil 3, the costume bid war. I believe Disco's still in the lead, and tomorrow we have both the Kirby's Block Ball and Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer race. That could be made happen if, the Kirby's Block Ball true ending instead of any percent, and turning Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer into a race if those incentives are met. So let's get those dollars in, and don't forget to definitely avoid the Just Donate button and put those dollars towards our fun incentives. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so this track does have skips in it, but they're so absurdly hard to do that they're not even worth mentioning. And they're also like RNG based, so it's not really something you would go for in a marathon. Well, I don't think that was right. That's okay.
Not quite.
Okay, still pretty solid against my average time on that track, though. So we didn't go out of bounds too many times accidentally. This next cup, I think, is probably has some of the most technically challenging tracks.
Yeah, for sure. So starting off, we have Piranha Plant Slide, which doesn't have any skips per se, but it does have just some pretty difficult parts. We're coming up on the pipe here, which can really throw you off if you don't take it exactly correct. But thankfully, we nailed it here.
Yeah, that was pretty clean.
Yep. And then you'll notice that respawn at the end, as long as you're aligned correctly into that glider. Thankfully, that's pretty much a free strat.
Oh, and we respawned out there. Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah, not the best, but it's gonna happen in a track like this.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. Yeah, if you don't get your racer kind of angled correctly, it's a problem out of the pipe, because underwater physics, they're terrible. They're a terrible thing. Yeah, if you're making a game and you're like, you know what this game needs? Underwater physics. I would advise you to reconsider.
Narrowly survived the pipe.
I did. Yeah.
There we are.
A little rough there. That's okay. The underwater parts, they're not my least favorite part of the run, but they are the hardest.
Yeah, they're challenging for sure. It's just a whole different game trying to control, which we're gonna see a little more of here in Wario Shipyard.
Oop, nope, that was wrong. That's right.
That was super good with the no respawn. I don't think I'm even consistent at that in my runs.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've actually done that without respawning.
Alright, you'll see that skip that we just hit with the respawn after the pipe. We're gonna hit that again, laps 2 and 3, hopefully. If you look at the bottom screen, you'll see roughly how it works. It's just a matter, again, of how the checkpoint map is entirely two-dimensional. So as long as we hit those checkpoints from some elevation, you do still get the good respawns.
Yeah, and this is probably just about the only time in the run where I'm using the dual screen aspect of this to line up the zip. Do you call it a zip? I'm not actually sure what the correct terminology is for this game.
For the wall clips.
Yeah, wall clips. That's what you call it. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think there's an exact community agreed name, but I like to call them wall clips.
Okay. Okay. That should be good. Yep, there we go.
That's Wario Shipyard.
Okay. This track has the worst S-curve, in my opinion, in the whole game.
I can't disagree with you.
Fortunately, it's not one where I feel like you get stuck forever on, but it can add like minutes to the run if we mess it up too many times.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice to be able to take with no respawns. Managing just the one respawn there, it looks like. Not too bad at all.
Yeah, I'll take that. That's not the ideal respawn, but that's still better than some respawn positions.
Yeah, this is just one of those tracks where you can try for the skips, but they're not always going to work, and it's just a reactionary game of can you work with what you're given. Which it looks like you're nailing pretty well so far. Alright, lap 2, we survived.
Yes, we did survive lap 2. That S-curve was a little bit harder on lap 2, but still not too bad. Yeah, S-curves are the true end boss of this game. Okay. Line that up. Line this up. There.
Alright, and coming up on what is the most interesting track in this CC, Makawuhu. It's another one of those 3-section tracks, but the way the checkpoint map is laid out just makes for absolute chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm not actually that consistent with the clip here. So, this level is really short, but if I mess it up too bad, it actually becomes really long.
It looks like you got the respawn there. Yep.
Yeah, I got the respawn. If you go out of bounds accidentally there, though, it resets you back.
Yeah,
I've learned that the hard way.
You might have noticed we went straight from Section 1 to Section 3, because we skipped the checkpoint that takes us into Section 2. So within a single frame, we go Section 1 to Section 3, and if you're playing time trials, that makes for laps that are less than a single frame long, which is really interesting to see.
You went past the sun.
Yeah, that's what happens. We're basically going infinite speed.
Calamari Desert's another one of those break tracks where you just chill, go around the circle.
You call it a break track. I actually feel like I'm focusing pretty hard on this one. But yes, in theory I see that it's supposed to be a break track.
For what we're coming up on.
Yeah, that's true. For what we're coming up on, yes. Came in third that time.
Each my goat, first place in Calamari Desert.
This is my least favorite track. It's just boring. That's nothing too hard about it. It's just kind of boring. So again, good time for any reads if you want to do a read.
I want to remind folks we're here raising money for QMUNITY. QMUNITY is a province-wide resource center that delivers programs and services to anyone within the two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, intersexual, and asexual community in need of support and connection. Regardless of age, location, and circumstance, their organization is there to ensure queer, trans, and two-spirit people can find low-barrier access to mental health resources, peer support, information, referrals, and more. Yeah, the interview yesterday, if you, in case you missed it, the VOD for it is out there. You learn a lot about QMUNITY and how they're a local organization to the British Columbia, and it's a really passionate interview. You got the energy from the representative yesterday. I felt a lot, I learned a lot watching that. So yeah, check them out. And if you can, please donate.
Yeah, that interview was really good. Like, I felt like I learned a lot. I believe his name was Michael. He was very passionate and yeah, it like provided lots of really cool information about the organization. So coming to the end here of this track, one of the things that's kind of one of the reasons I don't like it that much is it's like super easy to go out of bounds. There are some spots that really it doesn't feel like it should take you out of bounds, but it does, but we're done with it.
Yeah, it's just awkward to play.
It's also winter, and I don't like being reminded of winter. Okay, so now this is one of the levels I did prepare a safety save if I get stuck on this level. Because this is definitely one where I feel like it is possible to get stuck forever on this one. But hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah, there's some fast strats which hopefully we're gonna see coming up here. But if you take them incorrectly, go out of bounds the wrong way, you just get respawned roughly at the very start with pretty much no checkpoint saved. So you're only safe once you complete a lap, basically, on this track. Which, thankfully, lap 1 looks like it went pretty well.
Yeah, lap 1 went fine. Yeah, I've decided to go for these strats because I've realized even the normal route, you can end up skipping checkpoints and then the lap doesn't count. So it's like, well, if going for it the normal way has the same problem, might as well go for the fast way.
Yep. Not too bad.
We did end up underwater. Underwater is not where I want to be.
I believe you hit that checkpoint. Yeah, it should be a 3 for 3. Yep. Indeed.
Okay.
That was a super good Daisy Cruiser. Usually something goes pretty wrong somewhere along the way.
Yeah, I took it pretty safe. I could have saved a lot more time if I played it a bit more aggressively. But, marathon. Yeah, I actually wanted to finish the track.
Alright, once we get into the canyon here, there's a fairly large skip. Let's see if we can get it here.
Well, we got part of it. We got half of it.
Yeah, not the perfect outcome, but still a nice time save there.
That bridge is so hard. I don't know what it is about that bridge.
It's just such a narrow part of the track. And when you're going at such high speeds, you don't really have the control to stay at the perfect angle all the time.
Might be... No. Thought that looked good, but no. Oop. There is a gap there. Okay, didn't go out of bounds there that time though, so that's kind of a wash there. Okay, let's see if we can get the full skip this time. Yeah, we got it.
Perfect.
Okay, this is looking like a good lap.
Yeah, that was a wonderful lap 3. And I believe with that, we're on to the Special Cup.
Yeah, we're 2 cups away from finishing. It's about 8 tracks. This one's fun. This one has some cool skips that are a little tricky to pull off, but feel good when you get them. Okay, so that's an intentional out of bounds to respawn there. And then we clip through here and respawn there.
Great respawn.
Yep. There's an even better respawn you can get, but that's really inconsistent.
Yeah, we'll take what we can get here.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that boost panel there is pretty much unavoidable. So, getting a respawn there, even in optimal individual level runs, I believe it's still done.
Oops, and did not mean to go out of bounds there, but that's fine.
That's still alright.
Yeah. This is still actually pretty good DK track for me.
Yeah, as long as you nail the skips and don't mess up too much along the way, you're set for a pretty good DK jungle.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. What is up next? I haven't memorized. Oh yeah, this one. This one has my favorite track music of any of the tracks. It also has a pretty cool skip. Let's see if I could get like the big skip or if it's just the small skip.
That looked good.
Yeah, got the big skip.
Awesome.
All right. If I can do that once, I'm happy.
That was a super good lap 1.
Yeah, that's probably like a PB for my lap 1.
Not a terrible respawn there. Not the perfect one we saw lap 1, but even getting that is very decent pace-wise.
Oop, did not get across. That's fine. That's actually pretty standard for me. Oop, and we did not get the skip. I'm just gonna keep going.
That's just fine.
Do that. I'm not sure if that was actually faster than trying to navigate it, but it was easier. And sometimes you just want to do the easier thing.
Especially marathon setting. You did it once, you showed it off once.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and go back, listen to the music on that track. It's great. Especially for lap 3.
So Bowser's Castle in this game doesn't really have any big skips. Unfortunately, the checkpoints don't quite allow for it. But there's still some interesting strategies we'll see laid out here.
This was like the one that I feel like I understand the least, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like,
I can't blame you for that. Thankfully, we skipped most of the water part. just by angling it correctly, going out of bounds, you can avoid having to go all the way around there. And this last hairpin turn is very difficult.
Yeah, I hate it.
Thankfully, lap 1 it went super well.
Yeah, that's about as good as lap 1 can go. Okay, yep, that's a good respawn. That's fine. I can... Ooh, no. Okay, now we're gonna have a bad turn. This becomes hard now.
Yeah, once you have to angle it from the respawn, it can get a little more difficult, unfortunately. But hey, there we go.
Yeah. Oop, oop. Okay. Let's pray for a good turn. Ooh, that was a little rough, but we still get an okay respawn.
Yes. That's the respawn you want if you're gonna go off there.
Yep.
Alright, and now for everyone's favorite track, Rainbow Road.
Oh boy.
Rainbow Road.
It can be super difficult in this 9999cc. The second turn especially, I've lost minutes there in speedruns just because I'm trying to pass it semi-quickly, but it's not that kind in the respawns, which we might see right here. Yeah.
We're gonna play it really safe. Okay, there we go. Yeah, obviously you can take that turn a lot faster, but it's not worth it. I try it once, and then I do slow strats.
Yeah, this whole first part of the track is just risk-reward management and how fast you want to go.
And you can, if you accelerate too much, you can go through the floor.
Yeah, especially on that wavy part, it likes to just not exist when you're at high speeds. There is a skip around this planet ring, but it can be somewhat difficult. We missed it there, but...
Yeah, I've never gotten it.
Still on a decent pace here.
Yeah. Yeah, we should... I think we should be underestimate even if we didn't restart the timer from the lockup at the beginning. I'm not sure if we did or not, but either way, I think we should be underestimate.
On a perfect respawn there. We love that.
Whoa, I've only gotten that once before. That was actually a huge time save. I don't know how you do get that.
It's the marathon lock.
Yeah. Okay. Now, we could lose all of that time here. Like, I've had runs where this one takes an extra, like, 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, the big issue with this track is the respawn points. So, for the first part of the track, there's not too much to worry about. You just make it through up to this turn. You cannot respawn anywhere in this area. You'll go all the way back to that glider panel at the start of the river.
Here, allow me to demonstrate.
Yep. So the community has developed some strats to kind of take it a little more safely, but there really is no way to consistently 100% make it through. Thankfully, we got the respawn here, and it's good all the way through to lap 2.
Yeah, and where I went out of bounds was not the worst place to go out of bounds, because it was right at the start of the pipe.
Yeah, once you get into the pipe with the water physics, it can be super easy.
I've never seen that happen, where you go up to go out of bounds. It was funny. Okay, this is not a great setup, yeah.
Yeah, it can be super easy here to gain a ton of unwanted speed just because water physics are water physics.
Yeah. Don't do water physics, please. If you're developing games, please. Okay, we're okay. That's... Ooh, this is gonna be a tight curve. Okay, that should be good.
Yep, we made it.
Woo! One more lap. Oh, and we got the good respawn there.
Awesome, first try, lap 3.
Yeah, we'll take that. That was actually better than average.
Yeah, as long as you get like sub 2 minutes on that track, you can't really complain.
Yo, oh no, yeah, that's true.
Alright, Dino Jungle is not a super interesting one. There are a couple mildly interesting respawns, but nothing too much to see here. Driving roughly the normal route.
Ooh! Almost stayed in bounds.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you got that, that's something I'd never seen before, and that was almost certainly gonna be faster. Yeah, this category is crazy because even your mistakes can turn into unexpected new strats, as we almost saw.
Oh yeah, this one's actually gone pretty clean. This is not the hardest track. But 29, the one before this, was the hardest. So we're actually almost at the end of the run here. We got this lap and 2 more after it. And, oh, that was a gold split on that one.
Awesome. And we're coming up here on Airship Fortress, which has it's got a skip. I'll say that much. It's better seen than told.
Yeah, well, hopefully I get it now. It's not that hard. Oh, it should be it.
Yep. By clipping the wall there, you go from pretty much the starting area of the checkpoint map into the cannons area. Usually there's a cannon that launches you out of the airship towards the spiral turn at the end. But you can just fling yourself into the spiral turn. And thanks to the way the checkpoints are laid out, it still counts you in bounds. And you'll also see on the end of that spiral turn, you can take a wall clip to save you a lot of the turn and just go right to the finish line, which looks like we nailed it, lap 3.
Yep.
And we're on to the final track, Rainbow Road, but again.
Yeah, so we have time's coming up in about a minute. So time will come up on finish on this track.
So interestingly here, after, I believe it's turn 3, I could be wrong, but there is a very consistent strategy that actually skips over and out of bounds, such that on frame 1 you're before it, on the second frame you're after, just because of how fast you're going. And it looks like we nailed it here. Not quite.
Nope. Yeah, you say it's consistent. I get it about 1 out of 3 tries. Okay, let's see if we get it.
Just hold
this
left at
time.
this respawn, and it looks like we nailed it. Yep,
Alright,
straight to the
yep.
finish line. That goes over a huge out-of-bounds area. It's a miracle that it's as easy as it is with the proper setup. Not quite on lap 3.
Yep, 1 out of 3 times. And time is coming up. And time. Whew. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Wonderful work there.
Cool, cool. So I think, well, Bo, do you have any shout-outs that you wanted to give?
I'll give a shout out to MK William. He was the person who kind of came up with the idea for this category, and I'd also like to shout out, I believe, PJ the Gamer. He has been running this category on the side. He hasn't really submitted any times yet, but he's a world record contender, ready to knock me out as soon as he actually records one of his times. How about you?
Shout outs to Bo for commentating for me. That was very helpful to explain a lot of the technical aspects of the game that, I'm still learning. It was a lot of fun learning this game, so thank you for submitting it.
No problem.
Also, shout out to Count Gooby, who will be running Curse of Monkey Island later today. That is the game I submitted, and I will be commenting there. Also, shout out to the Speedromizer community. Thank you for putting together a wonderful event. Thank you to all the volunteers, producers, staff, everybody. You're doing wonderful work here, and keep your donations going, and I'll throw it back to the host.
Thank you both so very much. This was fun and silly to watch. I hope everyone enjoyed Mario Kart 7. Don't go away, because after the intermission, we'll be back with some more Marathon with Crisis Core Final Fantasy 7. So stay tuned, folks.